Hey guys, welcome to Comics with Bueller. As always, I'm Bueller. These are old interviews I've done at Comic Cons that were on live streams. They're like 3 or 4 hours long. I've cut them up so you guys can see them individually. There's people like Jim Starlin, Ming Chen from Comic Book Men, Chris Claremont, Emma Kubert, just to name a few. So do me a favor, check them out. They are a little bit dated, but they are a lot of fun, and I look quite a bit different on these videos as well. But there will be a playlist so you can check them all out. And at the end of this video, a new video will be able to click on to see that interview. So anyways, take your time, watch them, enjoy them, and I'll see you at the end of the video. If you guys aren't familiar with Dan, this is Dan the Superman, Jurgens. He's done a ton of Superman books.
Yep.
You actually did the whole death thing, correct? Is that right?
Did the Death of Superman and a whole lot of other stuff.
Yes,
as well.
yes.
Yeah, absolutely right.
So would you like to talk to the audience? Because you mentioned a new book that you're going to be working on. If you'd like to share it with our audience, that'd be great.
Yeah, right now I am just putting to bed the first issue of a new series called Blue and Gold, which stars Booster Gold and Blue Beetle.
Yes.
So they're finally going to get their own title. Comes out next month,
Nice.
in July. Beautiful art by Ryan Sook, and it's definitely harkening back to those fun, very, very spirited days of comics.
Yes.
And their Justice League adventures and things like that. So it's going to be pretty crazy, and also, hits on the concept of social media these days, even things like this.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a lot of fun for people.
Yeah. Last my experience with Booster Gold, he was in the Heroes, that Heroes book or whatnot. It was the one. I can't remember the name, but it was about like post
Heroes in Crisis.
Yes, Heroes
Yeah.
in Crisis.
Yes.
He was featured in that quite
Yeah.
a bit. And
Yep.
that's your character, right?
Yeah, it is, and we're going to be a little lighter than that.
Yes.
I'm not here to torture every single character I write. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit lighter, more of a romp. And I think, we're just trying to do something that is a bit of a fun read. And I
Nice.
think right now where we've been at and everything else, it's the timing is probably pretty good.
There you
It's kind of
go.
going back to the roots of the character because Booster Girl was so much fun
Yes.
Right.
to read, and so that's awesome. I'm so on board.
Okay, great. Yeah.
How many issues of this one? This one shot or?
No, this is going to be a 8-issue miniseries. And of course, the hope is if everybody gets into it and digs it, then we'll do another one and
There
we'll
you
just
go.
keep it going. But I think that, people are going to, like I said, I think people are going to have fun with it because it is a little different than what we've been seeing a lot of lately, the
Yeah.
past few years in general. So, yeah, good fun romp.
There you are.
Yeah.
Now you've done some other books, obviously. You've done plenty of books.
Oh, yeah.
One of my favorite, you've written some G.I. Joe books.
I did not write the G.I. Joe
You're
stuff. I
artist.
drew it.
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
because
sorry.
I do both. But no, on G.I. Joe, I was the artist. Yeah.
There you go. I'm a fan of G.I. I grew up watching G.I. Joe. I literally would get off of school, run home to make it to the cartoon to watch Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow and all those guys.
And for people who didn't experience that, it's kind of hard to even communicate just how popular
Yes.
that stuff was. Those daily cartoons, the Transformers, everything else, and just there are so many people who have that exact same story. Run home, turn it on, and boom, every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is wonderful.
Yeah, I'm. I was a little older than that.
Now
stuff
it's
at that time,
streaming,
but
so you can watch it anytime you want.
I get that. I get that. So life is almost too convenient sometimes.
Yes.
Yes.
So what was it like killing Superman? I mean, we got to ask. There's not too many people who have decided to do that, but apparently you did. Apparently you had a grudge.
Not a grudge at all. I think that if you think of it this way, is we just wanted to tell a really good Superman story.
Yeah.
The thing about life for all of us is it's when someone passes that we really start to recognize what they meant to us. That's what eulogies are for, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what memorial services are for. And that's when everyone stands up and says, I didn't tell him I loved him or her or whatever, or they start to talk about the meaning this person had to their lives. And what we started to key on is that by taking Superman out of the books, we could say a lot about Superman. And the wonder of it all really is that as we did that, we had columnists writing columns saying, what does it say about America that we don't have Superman? So we had fiction and reality kind of doing, one of these, and it was just a very special time. And even more so than a daily G.I. Joe cartoon.
Yeah.
If you weren't there, it's hard to explain just how big a thing it was.
Yeah, it was huge. Absolutely.
It's changed everything.
It did.
It really did.
It did. And, I don't think comics will ever see anything like that again. unfortunately. But at the same time, we were lucky that we got to experience it as we did.
Well, so let's talk about that really quick, because back then comics were extremely popular, and obviously they've gone down since then. But do you see the market coming back in? Because we talk about that a lot on our channel.
Yeah.
We hit on that subject quite a bit. Today, as comics, here we are finally back in the Comic-Con for one, which is just great.
True.
Do you see that love for comics coming back to the way it was, say, in the 90s or in the 80s? You don't see that? Do you see a way for companies to make that more popular?
Companies could make that more popular, I think, if they wanted to approach more material for general audiences again.
Okay.
I don't necessarily sense that. I mean, the reality is, I could walk into a comic shop on, new comic release day back then, and it would be packed like with, 10, 12, 14-year-old readers who were really getting into it and into the enthusiasm of the product and the enthusiasm of the stories and the enthusiasm of the characters. And now I go in a comic book store and it's a much older audience.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is because the publishers moved away from the material that attracts that kind of a reader that I was talking about.
Yeah.
And for those of us who still try and get that, to get that kind of a target audience, that general audience, what we used to call the casual readers that would become more avid regular readers, it's swimming upstream.
Yeah.
And I think that unfortunately we moved the product away from that.
Yeah.
I think at the same time, there are social dynamics that went into that. We don't have the number of outlets we used to have either. But more than anything, more and more, the product got tailor-made for that older reader, that hardcore audience. And when we do that, we can accidentally build a barrier to new readers coming in. Yeah.
That's one thing we talk about quite a bit, how to bring new readers into the market. That's something as a comic book fan, and we've been fans ever since we were young, because we were going to the convenience store and getting the books off the rack and everything.
Right.
And we want to be able to do that again. We want our kids to be able to do that again. Unfortunately, it's not there.
No.
So hopefully something we would love to see something change. Hopefully with new distributors that are coming in. Penguin now is going to be distributing Marvel books and stuff like that. Maybe they open the door to, hey, we're okay with putting comic books at Barnes & Noble or 7-Eleven or something like that.
Yeah.
It would be great.
General distribution would help, but in order for that to work, you also have to have the product to match.
Yeah.
And it's not to say we don't have it at all, because there are some books that I think are great right now that do fit into that category. But there also has to be that sort of commitment to saying this is the wider audience we want to hit at those age levels and see if we can get them to climb on board. And that means the books have to have a certain sense of awe and adventure and some sense of dynamics to them. And there's a lot of that goes into it. It's a particular sensibility, and the industry would have to commit. And we'll see if they do.
Yeah.
I hope they do.
Awesome. Well, Dan, thank you so much. I don't want to keep you any longer because people are going to be heading your way, and they want to have you sign some stuff and do all bunch of things. So thank you so much, sir.
My pleasure. Oh, yeah. See, I was going to do this.
There we go. Everyone is still on the fence of what to do.
It's not that. It is a question of that. But really, in writing Booster and Blue Beetle and how they hang out, they're all about the fist bumps.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
You go.
Fist bumps for Dan.
All right. Very good.
All right. Thank you,
guys.
sir. Appreciate it. Guys, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed those interviews. I had a lot of fun. Even the ones with Howard Chaykin, you know what? He just is who he is. But do me a favor, check out the playlist, check out the video that pops up next. It's another interview over the years, and I think you're going to enjoy my time with these creators. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to live your best life. You know what to do. I'll see you next time. Bye.